Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Saturday, February 13th, one day before Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day, whatever you suggest or like. Okay, on our show today, we have the security update with Carlos Rojas, and then we also have Mr. Von Doss, who heads up the Arizona departments of Radnet, and he's going to tell us a little about the expansion and how that can help you if you're in the Arizona area. Now let's go ahead and give you our COVID resources that we normally do regarding the vaccinations. Now our hotline is 949-594-2533, and this is where you can learn more about the vaccination information, potentially regarding an appointment you may have. If you have questions, you can also go to Laguna Woods Village alerts.com, and we do have an FAQ page there that should answer most of your questions. Now, if you are a Kaiser Permanente member, you will want to contact Kaiser, and you can call them at 833-574-2273. And if you would like to make an appointment, you can go to kp.org/COVID vaccine, and you would click on Make an Appointment. Now, you always could go to Soka University or Disneyland instead of these two options if you'd like, because it is also free to do so. However, you need to register at othina.com, and that is the main area of which you could register for those two locations. If you want more information, go to occovid19.ochealthinfo.com. All right, well, the rain cleared out yesterday, so it left us with some nice skies today and tomorrow and the next day. It still is a little cloudy though, 63-45. Sunday we are looking at partly cloudy, 66-46, and then Monday 65-48. Now let's go our travel slide. Our travel slide we have, if you're heading to the beaches, 63-47, Santa Barbara 68-45, San Diego 63-50. High Sierras, Tahoe area is going to get snow this weekend, 35-25. It's going to be windy in Big Bear, 45-23, Mammoth 35-20, and windy in Palm Springs as well, 72-48. Our sunrise this morning was at 6:37, and our sunset will be at 5:34. Thank you, Linda, for sending in this beautiful photo of the Aliso Creek. We appreciate that. And if you have a lovely photo you'd like to share with all of our residents here in Laguna Woods Village, please email it to lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Now, yesterday we were down at Clubhouse 7, and we were able to kick off our at-home vaccination program to approximately 60 residents this one day. And here we have some video. Look at this nice lady who's just sitting there talking to them and making sure everything's good, and she got her vaccine. I think they said she was like in her hundreds, so good for her. I'm so glad we were able to do that program. So that is awfully nice that we were able to distribute the program to those that are homebound, either for any different reason. Either they can't make it out of the house, or they might have just had an operation, or they are ill. But nonetheless, we had our Memorial Care folks out there doing this, along with our volunteers who are either from Village Management Services or are from Memorial Care, or just the community at large who happen to be a medical professional. And if you would like to participate as a volunteer to help us watch the individuals to make sure that they're not having any reactions to the vaccinations, you can certainly send an email to info@lagunawoodsvillage.com. All right, stay tuned for Mr. Von Doss at Radnet.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Von Doss, who heads up the Arizona Radnet. Well, I know that it's a big system, and that was the best way for me to introduce you. So welcome. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
So I know you've only been with Radnet a short time. So give me just a brief background of what you did before.
So I've been in radiology for about 15 years. I've held almost every job that's non-clinical, and my main market that I've operated out of is Arizona.
Okay. Now, so I understand, obviously, Radnet has expanded to Arizona. And what are some of the things that, what does that mean to Arizona now that Radnet's there?
It means quite a bit. With having Radnet take over these clinics, we can really establish some great programs. We can utilize their services and their talent pool in this market to provide high quality care and do things that we've never done before. So like have a robust lung cancer screening program, have a robust prostate program. It's like every single department within radiology, they have a full team dedicated to make sure you're going to be successful in the patients get good services.
So tell me how that works. So Radnet comes to Arizona. Is there a partnership that it goes on, or are there new facilities, or how does that work?
So when Radnet initially purchased, there was an exploration of partnerships. Luckily, we landed a partnership with Dignity Health, a local nonprofit hospital system, I think the second or third largest in the country. And it's allowing us to explore new locations in the markets that we serve today and the markets we want to serve in the future. It's also helped us bring a lot of new equipment out here, upgrade some of our equipment. It's been really, really beneficial to the operations of the business, as well as our ability to be successful as a company.
Yeah, that's great. We've been interviewing Radnet for quite some time, and they've got quite a great presence here locally. Many of our residents here in Laguna Woods, some of them have homes in Arizona, and they kind of go back and forth because that Arizona heat nobody seems to like. So more power to you for being there year round. But when you do partner with someone as large as the healthcare system you're talking about, I'm sure it does help with expansion and management. And speaking of that, we've gone through a really strange year. 2020 has been just so odd, and many of our elderly people, have been at the highest risk. So what would you say to them about what is happening?
So what we're doing in this market to address, the issues that we faced in 2020 is we're making sure our staff is trained, or have enhanced cleaning measures within our facilities. We have a virtual check-in, so you can actually wait in your car or check in before and spend less time in the lobby. A lot of things are being done, but the most important is that the patients feel safe and comfortable and they get the care they need, because delayed care is not good, and we want to make sure that they know that we're doing everything we can to make a safe environment for them and our staff.
Right, exactly. And we did interview Karen Morad some time ago, and she talked a lot about all of the things that Radnet has gone through. And so I think that's just awesome. And now, different practices for going forward as well. I mean, I think this whole thing has really brought a lot of light to sanitization and a lot of different things. Do you think you'll still use it going forward?
I do. I think that it didn't really negatively impact us. It positively impacted us because we were more conscious of what we were doing. We made sure that our cleaning habits were improved. We've added additional sanitation measures for the patients as well as our staff. I think it's going to be a good thing going forward. We just have to make sure that we do a good job of managing it and communicating that to the patients, so that way we stay vigilant until we do get back to that normal that we used to have, and potentially a modified normal, but still good.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever that normal might be, right? We're still trying to navigate that. Let's talk a little bit about the services. So I know you mentioned prostate cancer. Let's talk about some of the other services that you will provide.
So we're a full service radiology provider. And what that means is that we offer a full range of services to our patients, such as MRI, PET-CT, CT, ultrasound, X-ray, fluoro. We also do a full range of women's services, such as 3D mammo, whole breast ultrasound screening, DEXA, and all breast biopsies that we can possibly perform in the outpatient sector. So anything that can be done in the outpatient, more than likely we're able to do it.
Now, what do you think this means? I mean, obviously, you're talking to us from Arizona. Uh, what does this mean for Radnet expanding into Arizona? I mean, there's a lot of other areas that I assume they could go to, but starting where they are in Arizona, what does that mean?
I think it means a lot. Arizona is a new market for them, of course, but it's a market that they have some experience in. They've worked with other groups within this market, so they have an understanding of the local geography. It also allows them to expand a partnership that they have with Dignity. They work with Dignity in California. They're going to work much closer with Dignity here. So I think it's good because Arizona is a booming economy. It's a booming population, and you want to get there before it's been well established. You want to get there when the iron's hot, and I would say the iron's hot here. We aren't seeing the unemployment rates other states are having, and we're continuing to see good economic trends. So getting here right now is perfect because it allows us to establish a presence in Arizona and build while the state is doing very, very well in expanding its own geography of communities.
What part of Arizona is it? Strictly in the Phoenix area?
We actually operate out of two counties, Maricopa and Pinal. So that would mean that we focus out of Phoenix. We also work out of Tempe, Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler. But we have three clinics in Pinal County, which would be Apache Junction, Casa Grande, and Maricopa. That might be considered a little bit more rural to people who are from out of state. But still good markets, still growing markets, and it's good. It gets us a little bit more geography and coverage so that we can take care of a greater population of patients.
Oh, that's great. And you are getting a lot of Californians these days.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. A good portion of California people moving in.
Oh, yeah, we're coming in droves. Get ready. Well, it was very nice to meet you, Vaughn. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much.
All right. And we'll be right back after this.
Hello. Radnet is the nation's largest outpatient medical imaging network, providing thousands of imaging procedures each day. During this time, Radnet remains committed to serving the needs of our communities. Our radiology centers are open and will remain open to treat patients. Rest assured that Radnet is following CDC protocols and taking every measure to ensure the safety and well-being of our patients and staff. Radnet has recently been asked by local hospitals to help provide outpatient imaging services for their patients, and Radnet is committed to supporting those needs. We are available to take your calls and schedule your appointments. To schedule an appointment online, visit myradiologyconnectportal.com or visit our website at radnet.com for more information and to find a location near you. Be healthy and be safe.
At our new Memorial Wave Imaging Center in Laguna Woods, formerly Orange County Diagnostics, you can expect the same precise imaging, multiple modalities for your imaging needs, and the same friendly staff with medical providers like Dr. Syed Sharakni. The Laguna Woods Transportation Service offers convenient access right to our door, and we continue to provide the care and compassion that you expect from our new Wave Laguna Woods location.
I'm very concerned that patients with stroke, heart attack, sepsis, or other medical emergencies are delaying care. Let me reassure you, it is safe and critically important that you do not ignore the signs and symptoms such as chest discomfort, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, or sudden onset of headache. If you think you may be having a medical emergency, don't wait. Call 911 or go to your nearest emergency room.
Welcome back. Today I am joined by Carlos Rojas, who is here on behalf of security, and he's our director of security. So who better than to discuss everything security? Well, hi, Carlos. Nice to see you. How are you?
Hi, Lisa. Great to see you. Everything's going great.
Good. Well, I saw you out on the front line there helping with the vaccinations. So why don't we start off with that? How has it been going? I know you guys have been, braving it through the rain and God knows what else. So tell us an update on that.
Well, Lisa, it's really been an outstanding partnership with Memorial Care, and we've been able to get over 7,000 Laguna Woods Village residents vaccinated. And while I know it can seem hectic with so many vehicles coming into Clubhouse 7 and various people showing up without appointments and what have you, but at the end of the day, it's been a great success. And it really has been a great partnership between Memorial Care, VMS, and the city of Laguna Woods.
So what are some of the security issues that were related to, getting this all set up?
Well, one of our biggest concerns was the traffic flow and being able to get vehicles in and out of the parking area safely. And so then we did have to coordinate with both the city of Laguna Woods and the Orange County Sheriff's Department to make sure that we had the best traffic flow possible so we wouldn't back up the arterial streets such as Moulton or even El Toro Road. And it has worked out well, and we want to see continued success along the lines of vaccinations.
Okay. Has there been any unruly guests?
We've had a few people that have been very emotional and passionate about wanting to get the vaccine. And of course, we understand that very difficult times, over this last year with the pandemic and the social isolation that occurs during these type of scenarios. So we understand that some people have been passionate, but overall, everybody's been very kind, very appreciative, and very cooperative in making sure that things run smoothly.
Oh, that's great. Well, when I was out there, everything looked like it was running well, even though the weather wasn't cooperating at that time. But nonetheless, you guys had everything pretty much under control. Now, in looking forward in what's happening, I know you guys are still going to do it over the next couple of weekends. So do you anticipate any additional issues, or do you think it's going to run pretty smoothly?
Well, I believe it's going to run smoothly. I mean, we've been able to work on some of the little nuances and the one-offs that come up. So we've had to, change various designs of lines going into the building and exiting the building and what have you. But I think we have it pretty dialed in now, and I think it should be smooth moving forward for both the remaining of the first doses for Laguna Woods Village residents and then the second doses, which will be done at a future date.
Yeah, good. Well, thank you. That's a good update. Things, like I said, seem to be running pretty good. Let's kind of talk about the village as a whole. I know we've pretty much been centered mostly on vaccinations and COVID-19. What are some things that you're having to deal with right now outside of vaccination stuff and COVID-19?
Sure. Some of the things that are very prevalent month to month, we do get a lot of complaints of clutter. And then so we do want to get folks to start thinking about maybe the spring cleaning that will be coming up this year, because clutter can be a health hazard. It could be a fire hazard. And it is the number one complaint that we get to security, which ends up going to our compliance division.
Right.
And I do understand it can be very challenging for people to get rid of certain items, but I think it's very important to be mindful of the stuff that we do accumulate over time.
Is there, I know that every once in a while the waste management would come around and get large items. Is there another program that you may have, or somewhere we could refer people that could come and get some of their clutter, or they can donate it, or how does that work?
Well, I know General Services does bulky item pickup. And then of course there's organizations such as Goodwill, Salvation Army that do accept donations.
Okay, perfect. What other types of issues are you guys dealing with?
We have seen an increase in smoking related calls. And so I think it is a good time to remind folks that smoking, where it's impacting other residents, could be deemed to be a nuisance. And so any calls that we get in the security department regarding smoking issues, we will respond to them, and the security officer will note any observations, any smells when they go to the location. And it could eventually lead to disciplinary action depending on the facts and the circumstances. So we want to remind any smokers that they can't smoke in an area that's a common area or an area where it's going to impact others.
Are there clearly posted areas in which they can smoke?
Well, we do follow the Orange County ordinances where folks have to smoke away from the building. It's 20 to 25 feet away from the building. But for us, more importantly, there are some folks that are able to smoke inside, and they don't impact anyone else. And of course, that's their personal choice. But our biggest concern is just any type of smoking in a common area or where it's impacting others. And when I say impacting others, whether it's littering of cigarette butts or that secondhand smoke.
Oh, I see. Okay, good. Now, social services, they're a great group of folks, and they've done so much over the course of the last year on top of what they normally do. Tell me a little bit about them and how that's, you've worked with them over the year.
Yes, well, our social services department is just a great resource and asset that we have here in Laguna Woods Village. And our folks that work in there are all licensed clinical social workers, and they provide a great resource to residents that may be dealing with challenging issues, whether it's anxiety, panic attacks, anything that might require some professional expertise. Social services is really our go-to resource, and that is located here in the community center, and then they do make house calls as applicable. So they are a great resource, and we really want to encourage folks that if they feel they need to talk to somebody regarding an issue that's really impacting their quality of life, social services is a great place to start, and they can get you to more specialized resources, or they may be able to help you with whatever issue you may be dealing with.
Was security getting calls regarding some of these things at some point?
Just on a day-to-day basis, we do receive calls regarding folks that may be dealing with some type of mental health issues or anxiety issues, and we do make references on a weekly basis over to social services, and they will follow up with residents proactively as well as reactively if a resident calls in themselves.
So is that the appropriate measure? I guess if someone was to see someone that might be having this issue, do they call you first, or do they call social services first?
They can go ahead and call social services, but either way, it will get to the right person.
Okay, perfect. And then lastly, we went through the big RFID transfer, but were there still folks out there who haven't done that yet?
Yeah, so I strongly encourage folks to get the RFID, and I know sometimes folks can be a little uncomfortable with new technology, but at the end of the day, the RFID is a more effective and efficient way to get vehicles, and I'm talking about vehicles that belong to our members, in and out of the community, because it does trigger the gate, and they won't have to wait in the guest line. So we no longer issue the vehicle decals, as the board had decided as a cost-saving measure to no longer mail those out, issue them out, and really default to this more efficient and effective way of getting our members' vehicles into the community. So I know there is a nominal cost of $25 for the RFID, and that does pay for our gates, pays for the maintenance on those gates, and for the cost of the RFID. So I do encourage folks to make that investment, and I think they'll be happy with the end result, being able to get in and out of the community more quickly.
Is that a one-time fee of $25?
It is.
Okay. Now, of course, if you change cars, you would have to change the RFID, correct?
Well, Resident Services handles RFID, and I believe each vehicle has their own RFID.
Okay, all right, good. So if somebody had any questions or wanted to get the RFID, they would just call Resident Services.
Absolutely. To get more details on that, Resident Services will have that information.
All right, perfect. Anything else?
No, I think that wraps it up. And then lastly, I just want to tell all the viewers to make sure to always be aware of their surroundings and make sure to lock their vehicles. While Laguna Woods Village is very, very safe, we have to make sure that we keep our vehicles locked, because when we do have issues regarding theft, they're primarily unlocked vehicles. And I really want to thank you for having me on the program.
All right, Carlos, thank you again, and good luck on the vaccinations the next couple weekends.
Thank you, Lisa.
All right, bye-bye. And we'll be right back after this.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
I started Sterling Financial under the premise that there was a need for integrity in this industry as well as quality service.
There's such volatility in the stock market. One day it could be up 100 points, the next day it could be down 500 points. Well, what we like to do is be able to have people go to bed and wake up the next morning knowing that their money is safe and secure.
That's what we try to do here at Sterling Financial Advisors, is to create peace of mind and quality of life in retirement.
Welcome back. We have a movie for you today. It is called Loving, and it is starring Joel Edgerton, and it is about an interracial couple. Richard and Mildred Loving, that's their last name, fell in love and were married in 1958. They grew up in Central Point, a small town in Virginia that was more integrated than surrounding areas in the American South. So you can catch that at 3 p.m. with subtitles, 6 p.m. without subtitles, and that is brought to you by Hogue. So that's a nice thing to do on this Valentine's weekend. All right, let's see, what else do we have? Oh, the coin exchange. So the coin exchange has changed its days. So beginning February 18th, you will now be able to get the coins on Thursdays. A United Mutual resident will be the first and third Thursdays at the Performing Arts Center, and the third mutual residents are at Clubhouse 5, and that's on the second and fourth Thursday. Now, residents are limited to 2 $10 rolls of quarters, and they ask that you please pay in exact change. All right, now it turns out that the old pros are doing something fun for February. They are going to do a Love is in the Air, a celebration of the joy and spirit of love with music, readings, dramatizations, humor, and more. And you can catch that at 7 p.m. every Sunday in February, right here on Village Television. Okay, let's take a look at our weather one last time. As I mentioned, the rain has subsided and we are looking at some nice weather for this weekend. We are looking at today 63-45, tomorrow 66-46, and then Monday 65-48. And if you are traveling in the area, your beaches are looking okay at 63-47, Santa Barbara 68-45, San Diego 63-50, the High Sierras, Tahoe in particular, they are going to get some snow 35-25, Big Bear windy 45-23, Mammoth 35-20, and Palm Springs 72-48. Have a great day in the Village. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we will see you again here on Monday, and enjoy your Valentine's or Galentine's tomorrow. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.